Hello and welcome. I want to give a frame to what we're doing here in the small groups. About 6 or 7 years ago, when I started here and I was new, I was noticing that as big as Emmanuel was, with this big dome, that people really didn't know each other. And so we set out on this journey to make it so people could get to know each other. The first thing we did, which was step one, you can call it that, was break down this big dome into 17 little neighborhoods. That's what became known as Emmanuel in the neighborhood. It was really a macro model. It was trying to make it so, regardless of your age, it mattered where you lived. Is that if you were sick and you needed a meal, your neighbor would bring it to you. If you were having a Shiva minyan, the person 2 blocks away would come to you. And the goal was that over the years, as we did Havdalah together and Shabbats together, you would start to know your neighborhood, that it really would be a much deeper sense of community. But this was big. These were big groups that were coming together. Sometimes 150 people would come together. You could think of them as 17 little shuls. Once we did that, we then moved to mid-sized groups. That's what we began last year in 2013, 2014. With that, we began looking at groups that were more based upon similar interests or similar age. We started the tribe, which were men between the 30s and 50s. We were loose at the end of where the 50 would go to. We had the women's group, and we really started working with groups to develop deeper relationships in groups of 30 to 50 people. Still larger, not small. And those were very successful. And this is really the third step that we're taking. This is small groups. This is a minyan. This is deep and this is intimate. This is the people that we are hoping you get to know on a very deep and a very real level. And we realized when we wanted to do this, if we really wanted to make these small groups of people that knew each other, there was no possible way for the rabbis to be there or our staff people to be there to facilitate these groups because we were going really big and we had to somehow scale this. So what we came up with was by putting videos like this together, where it was no longer about us, that we could create the set induction, we could do a little tiny teaching, but really where the connections were going to form was not from us. It was always about you. It was about making those connections and that people would share their stories and have a closer and do social justice projects together. And then we hoped, after meeting a few times, that this group of people, which may have kind of known each other, would really begin to hear each other's stories and know who each other were. And that minyan will become a much deeper and more integral part of your lives. So I want to thank you for joining us on this experiment, because this is new. We don't know if it's going to work. We hope it does. But at the end of the day, it's not us that has the answers. It's not us that can make community. It's only you. Thank you.